Okay, guys. Good that footy's getting up and running this week. Appointments come out tomorrow as usual. Obviously, with a couple of weeks off, we'll need to be focused and ready to go. We've got we've got the teams that are going to be fighting for relegation, promotion, obviously finals. And yeah, so it's all going the next few weeks. Obviously, the finals, how it's going to play out is a little bit up in the air. The women's finals are going as scheduled, but the men's finals we have to wait and see. We just need to be back ready to go and perform at our best. So looking forward to getting back into it. I did acknowledge before we went into lockdown some milestones, but I'll just read them out again because these three guys, we're going to have milestones the week that we lock down. They're now going to have their milestone games this week. So the 50th, Grant Bowen in the field, 100th game, Brian Gilman, and 300th game, Lindsay Holst in the goals. So well done to you guys. Okay, so for the dress code to and from games, we're going to go back to what we did last year where you're encouraged just to rock up to games with your on-field uniform ready to go. No need to wear the normal apparel for the reason being limited the time in the change rooms. You can rock up and pretty much go straight away. And just a reminder though, we still expect you to meet the coaches before the game, so that doesn't change. And really there's not too much that changes. I know there's a few restrictions that the government put on and they're probably going to impact on footy clubs. If there's anything that concerns you, we don't really want you being a COVID marshal on the day and trying to get things sorted. Just if something that's concerning you, just put it in the app and the league can follow up during the week. But really it's up to the clubs to monitor that. And yeah, let's not get too involved in all that. I'm going to send out with the coaching notes just a list of those that have become Umpire Association members. I did that 3 or 4 weeks ago, but we are coming up to finals. And yeah, as we've done in the previous few years, if you're not an association member, you won't be considered for a grand final. So if you haven't yet done that, make sure you do that this week, because we are looking at grand final appointments and how that all works out. Even though we're not quite sure how the final series is going to play out, we are having a plan, Pete and I, about appointments, and the same will go for boundary and goal. So that's all for me for what I've got to talk about. Has anyone got any questions at all? Now's the time to ask about the coming games this weekend. I do have someone to introduce to you in just a moment, but yeah, if anyone's got any questions that they need clarified, if we haven't got it now and you think of something later on, obviously get in touch. All right, I'm going to invite to the Zoom a guy that we've that most of us know pretty well. He's been umpiring initially with the SANFL and then came to us a few years ago, won our most improved trophy last year, did the Divi 2 grand final. And for those that know I'm talking about, Rob Kane is who I've invited along today just to have a chat. Most of you will know that Rob had some pretty challenging news early on in the year where he got diagnosed with cancer and hasn't been able to umpire as a result, been going through treatment. So I thought this might be a good opportunity just for him to update us all on how he's going, and yeah, he's been doing it a bit tough, but I think there's some positive signs of where he's going. So Rob, do you want to unmute yourself, mate, and yeah, come on to the Zoom and let us know how you're going.
Hey everyone. Yeah, no, I'm going well, Cole. We're halfway through chemo now, so I lost that beautiful hair of mine.
Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, so I'm nice and shiny like a couple of the SANFL guys. Yeah, no, I'm going really well. Health-wise, I'm good. I think the last couple of weeks have been mentally tough because I'm only halfway through and there's still 3 months to go. It doesn't look like I'll be fit enough to do a C grade game, to be honest. I think there's only 3 rounds left, but so I'll have to focus on something else now to get me through the last 3 months.
So tell us about the type of cancer you've got, and you know, how did it all get discovered? What sort of treatment you've had to go on to deal with it?
Yeah, all right. So first of all, it's past tense. So cancer I had. So the chemo so far, as far as I understand, is gone. So the chemo for the next 3 months is it's on the cellular level to make sure that it doesn't grow again. But so it's curable from the chemo. So I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is one of the best ones to have. It's the same one that Delta Goodrum had. Essentially, it started in my chest in a lymph node. It attacks your lymphatic system. So it came sort of up the lymph nodes. There's 60 lymph nodes in your neck and upper chest. And then it sort of grew from there into a tumor, pretty big, like 10 centimeter tumor across my chest from my heart across to my lung. So I got some pretty spectacular images from the scan of that. So it was no wonder I was huffing and puffing during pre-season. I sort of knew something was amiss, but I didn't really put all the symptoms together. So I did a scan after 4 doses of chemo, and all of the cancer cells were not active, which means they'd turned to scar tissue by that stage, which is pretty remarkable medicine. So if anyone's keen to see the images, I'm happy to send them on because it's pretty spectacular. I'll probably put it up on Facebook eventually, but I'm sort of staying off the socials and letting people know, to be honest. But yeah, it's good to share.
So what made you go get it checked out to start with?
One particular weekend, I had 6 super dries and was in bed by 7:30 at night, which is not like me at all. So that that was one of the symptoms. Among that, there was a cyst-like growth in my neck. On the Thursday night, I did an SANFL reserves game. I was umpiring, and by about 3/4 time, my vision had blurred. It had gone black. So something was pretty seriously wrong at that stage. And then on the Friday, that's when the lymph node came swelling up in my neck. And I was over in Stansbury, had a few beers, and then the night sweats were insane, like drenched the bed that night. So it was all the symptoms at once that particular weekend. And then I just booked in to see the GP, and she pretty much diagnosed me straight away and said, "You're off to get a CT scan." And yeah, fair enough. There was a big tumor in my chest. So that's
So how's it been mentally? I mean, to start with, the shock of being told you got cancer, and I guess all the worry and stress. How's that affected you?
Yeah, a lot of people say I handle it really well, and it's something I can't really explain it in one little session like this, Cole. To be honest, it rocks your world. But I am trying to put it down into a novel to explain how I got through it, and if I can help someone else get through it the same way I did, then that's all I aim for, really. But I don't know, it might end up as an internet blog or something. But yeah, it's pretty messed up. It's pretty messed up. So I don't know. It was, for me, it was concentrating on one step at a time. There were really hard moments where you sort of think of the whole thing all at once in that moment, and it just becomes unbearable to think of. So that's how I dealt with it. Is just, okay, well, the next thing I need to do is get a biopsy, and then I need to, one step at a time was really the thing that got me through that initial stage. And then with chemo, it's a good prognosis. So you just concentrate on that and just take it one fortnight at a time. So
you started writing a book?
I have, yeah. It's hard writing a novel and getting character progression and stuff. It's a good challenge. So that's kept me busy over the last 3 months, but I hope to really hone in on it on the following 3 months, and that's going to sort of keep me driven. And once the Olympics finishes, I'll be able to concentrate on it, because it's good watching the track and field at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And so with work, how have they been? What's the situation there? How's that played out?
My number one advice: if you don't have income insurance, get it. So I've stopped working totally, and I wouldn't be able to work with this. The chemo is pretty intense. From not being able to control your guts some days, and then other days you're just so fatigued you can't get off the couch. So, not to mention, you get memory loss and all sorts of. It's hard. It would be very difficult at work. So I'm not doing it. The work's been really good, so my position's still there. I've been with them for 11 years, and they've needed 2 people to replace me, which is it's been tough for the traffic management centre, but they'll be fine. And work's always going to, everybody's replaceable, I think. So that's my mindset, and I need to concentrate on my health. So I haven't concentrated on work at all.
Yeah. So what have you missed the most? Obviously, you haven't been able to umpire, but that wouldn't be the only thing. You just can't live life as you normally would. What have you missed the most?
Yeah, that's a harsh reality. I remember the day that I realised that life wouldn't be the same, probably for about a year. So the way I deal with it is not concentrate on things that I miss, but concentrate on things that I can do and enjoy to do. So getting a bowl of pho once a week is one of my highlights at the moment, and hanging out with mates and playing board games. But after my first chemo session, I think I gave you a call because I went for a walk through the uni loop and past Adelaide Uni and said, I'll be doing a C grade game, Colin. So yeah, for sure, miss having a jog. I went for a good couple of runs over the last few weeks. So I'm just starting to trying to get back into it, but it's pretty tough. Yeah,
that'll all come. And so you shared some pretty exciting news with me the other day. You want to let the guys know what else has been happening?
Yeah, I knocked up the missus before I started chemo. So we had a pretty serious discussion about fertility and the fact that once you have chemo, it could be 2 to 5 years until your spermies are happy to go again. So I put them in the freezer, and then in the same week knocked up the missus. So she's pregnant now.
Knocked up the missus. Nicely put. So that's exciting, mate. So congratulations. And how pregnant is she?
She's 14 weeks. So she's in her second trimester now. So yeah, gone really well.
So you're both probably suffering from fatigue for different reasons, and
we have exactly the same symptoms.
Except she's got her hair.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And so that must have been a big decision for you guys. Like, obviously, with health up in the air. When you said you had a big chat, what sort of things did you talk about to decide to go for it?
Oh, the biggest part was the honeymoon. Like, this is going to fuck our honeymoon up. But I said to her, we can still, it's what you make of it. So it wasn't, we're getting married in April next year. So the baby will be born there, and there'll be some pretty good photos with the baby. So it affects your plans a little bit, but at the end of the day, we just adapted. We'll adapt to it and enjoy it. Yeah.
And you not only have a little one coming, but you had another member of the family that you brought into your life early this year too. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I don't know. We bought a puppy just after I got diagnosed because I knew I'd be at home for the next sort of 8 months. But it was one of the best things I did. The puppy's amazing. But then we realized, because I think about 2 weeks later, that's when I knocked Jess up. We realized we made a mistake because we'd be cleaning up the baby poo for about, 2 years, but we'll have to clean up the dog's poo for 15 years.
You're about to find out what life's all about. Yeah, the dogs are just a little bit of a introduction to what you're really going to discover So,
Yeah.
that's great. Hey, I've asked a few questions. I'm sure there's some guys on the line that would like to maybe ask you something or say something. Anyone else want to unmute yourself and say something to Rob?
Yeah, Barry Lewis here, Rob.
Yeah.
Can I just congratulate you on your confidence and the way you're handling this? I think that's a credit to you, but you've always been a great bloke. But all I like to say is you look forward to that fatherhood, mate. It's going to be a great time.
Thank you. Yeah, I am. I'll just clean up puppy poo in the meantime.
Yeah.
Oh, Cole, just wanted to wish him all the best. He seems really good. Well done, okay. Rob, all the best, mate.
Thanks, Sam.
So for those that don't know, Sam went through his own struggles with cancer. What was it, 3 or 4 years ago? Sam, it's probably a different type of cancer that Rob's dealing with. Just for those that don't know,
my light's just gone off.
Sorry.
Hang on, my light's just gone off. I'm in the car. My wife turned the bloody light off. All right.
You look a whole lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, very similar. Mine is non-Hodgkin's, which is well, the only difference is they base it on how old you are, basically.
So with just for everyone, there's a Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They're both they attack the lymphatic system, and they can sort of grow outside of the lymphatic system as well. But there's about 60 types of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So it's about what the cells are doing, whereas there's 4 types of Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is the B cell, I think it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's very scientific. I went through all of that. That was one of my coping mechanisms, is understanding what I'm dealing with and what the alternatives are as well.
Oh, so you did look into alternative treatments?
No, not alternative treatments. God, no. Here's a fun fact for you. The main chemo drug that I get is called dacarbazine. It's actually derived from mustard gas, and they found out that it worked in World War One when the Germans were using mustard gas against the American soldiers. And about 100 soldiers after that attack had leukemia, which is a low blood cell count, so they all got sick. And then in World War II, there was a battleship in Italy, a US battleship, that got bombed by the Germans, and a battalion got poisoned by mustard gas. And so about 1,000 soldiers all got leukemia as well. So they all got sick and then low white blood cell counts. So at the same time as that, they also injected someone with a Hodgkin's tumor with mustard gas, with the actual chemical, and it killed the tumor. So that was in 1943. By 1956, it was commercially viable, a derivative of that to use in cancer treatment. So that's sort of the stuff that I'm writing about in my book as well, is understanding the medicine and not being afraid of it. Like, you have to, by understanding it, you actually understand that this is something that helps us. It's not poison, it's medicine. So, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Sign me up for that book, mate. I'll be down to buy a copy for sure.
Yeah, we'll see how I go. It's no promises I'll get it finished or want to release it, but
good therapy if nothing else, hey?
Yeah, definitely.
Anyone else?
Robert,
Palsy?
you go, mate. Robert, it's Raymond, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good.
Mate, this is it's quite a good chat, and I'm sure a lot of blokes in this chat probably thinking the same thing as me, mate. Like, just the guts you've got to come on here and do it, and the way you're talking is unbelievable. Mate, I guess it's putting a lot of things into perspective, like things that people normally would worry about. Like, you're not really, like, that's nothing for you now. Have you got any advice on that, mate?
Oh, look, everyone's got their problems. Like, my missus flooded the apartment. And that seemed like a big problem at the time, but I don't know, you just sort of work through things. I don't know if it's changed my perspective on the way I'll ever live. I don't know if that's what you're alluding to, but I don't know. I think it's just the person that I am. Like, I'll always treasure life, you know?
Oh, mate, that's awesome. Mate, Barry summed it up before, mate. You're a bloody good bloke. So keep it going, mate. Legend. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
All right, I think Balsy and Cross want to have a word too. So, Balsy, you want to come on first? Unmute yourself first.
Hello, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Hey,
all good, mate.
Bazzy.
Yeah, Rob. Yeah, Bazzy, congratulations on your attitude, the positive attitude. Did it take you a long time to become that positive? How did you manage that part of it?
Good question. The start was, it's a blur. I remember the GP. I remember looking in her eyes when she told me I had a tumor, and I sort of you go through stages. You know, you sort of think, no, that's not true. I got an infection or something. But I remember sitting on a wall at the beach and sort of, you know, you take moments, I suppose, to swallow things. But in terms of positivity, it was hard to tell people, but once you tell the first person, you realize that you've got a pretty good support system, and I think that helped me through as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't put a timeline on it. I think my premise of working through things one thing at a time really helps with the positivity.
Thanks, Rob. And just one bit, maybe you could change in the book. I knocked up my wife. You might be able to choose a better phrase than that in the book.
If you've got any suggestions, let me know. I'm not going to turn into a dirty novel, mate. I know what you're into.
Maybe you can make two versions, a G-rated and an X-rated version. Cross, did you want to come on?
Yeah, it wasn't so much a question. Just Rob, I've known you for some time through the Sandfield, and you've always been a really genuine and honest guy, and I've always enjoyed chatting. So it's so good to see you. When you told us at the start that it's in the past now, and then you're on the road to recovery, so that's fantastic news. And mate, there must be something in the water at where Jess works, because for those that don't know, I work with her, and there's not too many females that aren't actually pregnant at the moment out there. So, but I promise I won't say anything until she's announced that.
Oh shit, you don't know yet. No, she's having to talk to the principal, but the appointment's in 3 weeks. She can't get in to tell her. So
right, I won't say a word, mate.
Thank you. Cheers.
Nice.
She because Jess is on contract, she won't get maternity leave next year. So it's a pretty serious conversation with the principal, just for everyone's heads up. That's why we haven't put it on Facebook yet.
All right. We'll promise as a group to keep it to ourselves.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, I think that's all those that wanted to ask a question or say something. But as a whole group, we are fully behind you, mate. We're admiring the way you're handling it, your inspiration, and we can't wait for you to get back out there next year. And it won't be that far away before you're out running around again.
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers. I'll also add, running an 800 meter is still harder than this. Go Peter Bowl in the 800 final. Holy crap. He's up to his neck in it.
And these Olympics are inspiring in so many ways, aren't they? For people wherever they're at. So that's terrific. Thanks, Rob. Been great having you on. And for the rest of you guys that are able to umpire this weekend, with what we've done with going through a lockdown and listening to Rob, I guess it's really a matter of getting out there this week and being grateful for the opportunity we have, whatever game you've got. So go and enjoy. Look forward to getting back out there again. All right, and for those coming on Wednesday night, look forward to seeing you then.